Myles.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's been nice getting to know you the past few years since I've moved to Rollinsford and watching your career in the world of
Well, thank you.
committees in this town and boards. So talk a little bit about who you are and,
Sure.
and what you've been up to the past.
So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Myles England. I actually grew up in Rollinsford on General Sullivan Way. My mom still lives in the house that I grew up in with 4 brothers and countless other animals. My dad was the police chief for many years, so I have a lot of pride saying I'm from Rollinsford because it just is, was a great place to grow up, and I feel like it still is safe and has a really great community. So I grew up here. After college, I moved to the Boston area, lived there for 10 years, and I really had enough of that and was ready to settle back into something quieter. So I moved around the seacoast a little bit and ended up buying a house in Rollinsford. It was really difficult to find a house for sale. And a few months into living back here, I saw on the town website they were looking for a volunteer for the transfer station advisory committee, and I sent in my email and was selected. After that, I was on another ad hoc salary review committee, and shortly after that, I was an alternate on the planning board, and then a full member, and then I chaired the planning board. And then last August, I heard that there was a vacancy on the select board, and after a lot of thought, sent in my letter of interest and was grateful to be accepted as the appointee. And I just feel like if you live in a small town like Rollinsford, for me, it's really important to get involved, and Rollinsford thrives on its volunteers and the people that do the heavy lifting, because we don't have necessarily a fully funded municipal government. We need volunteers' help, so I felt like it was kind of my responsibility and duty to some degree.
That speaks a lot to why you would want to serve on the select board, or which you're now on, or the planning board.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting transition you've made from your beginnings with the transfer station.
Right.
You've sort of had the opportunity to witness firsthand several departments of government.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say that being on the select board was the steepest learning curve. I just had no idea all of the things that need to happen, and to run even a small town like this, you need to have, handle personnel issues, budget issues, legal issues. When a truck breaks down, you gotta figure out what to do. It's like running a house, but a bigger house.
Well, speaking of a house, what is your background that you feel qualifies you for the position you have?
I guess I would say a couple of things. I have a degree in economics from UNH, which an economics degree I feel like gives you a kind of a broad base of knowledge. But also I was on the Homemakers Health Services Board for about 13 years. And I was president and I was vice president, and there weren't a lot of people willing to stand up and be the leadership of that group, because it's time consuming. So that was also a huge education in how we care for our elderly and how we pay for it, and there are many, many challenges with elder care and getting a fair reimbursement for that. I know the agency still struggles, but I'm not involved with it anymore.
Well, you have a deep and wide background in volunteerism.
Yep,
and in an area that lends itself to managing town government too.
Right, yep. There were a wide number of issues that we dealt with there, and building out infrastructure projects, or planning to, was, I never thought I would know how a sewer pump worked, but I learned.
It's amazing what one has to know
Right.
in order to do a job. So in your professional life, what is your career background?
I work at Liberty Mutual. I've been there for 15 years and do a lot of data work. Liberty thrives on its data, and it's really an important strategic initiative for the company to use the data to help, further sales and that sort of thing. So yeah, data is a puzzle to me, and I feel like sometimes it's not really work, but yeah, that's what I've been doing there.
That would lend itself very well too,
Yes.
to managing the various aspects of town government.
Absolutely, I'm a very data-driven person, so when, a department head comes to us and is asking for a new piece of equipment or whatever, like, I need the data, what does it cost, what is the current equipment worth, what's the, show me the numbers and make them tell a story that makes it worth it to us and the town.
From the taxpayer point of view, that is a lovely model. That is the kind of model of excellence that we should want in our town functions. So what are the challenges that, given that you would assess the challenges in that
Right.
way, what do you see are the challenges for the town?
So, for many years, I feel like the town was underfunded on its infrastructure, the roads and the buildings, and also with staffing. I don't feel like we've kept up with providing adequate staffing for the needs of the town. And a lot of it has been pushed onto volunteers that have the time. The current board all have full-time jobs, and we don't have as much time to devote to those sorts of things, which was a major reason in appointing the town administrator. I think as a board, I'll speak for myself, that I'm hoping that she can take on more of the administrative tasks and allow the select board to work on more strategic things, policies and procedures and planning, zoning regulations and those sorts of things. That's the purview of the planning board, but I'm the ex officio member to the planning board, and I feel like that's an area we need to be more proactive and less reactive to those situations.
Absolutely. If we want to have Rollinsford continue to have the kind of identity
Absolutely.
and
Yep.
profile that it has, that's
It's really a little gem tucked, between a bigger city and, two cities, and it's I think we want to protect that identity. You're right.
Myles, thank you so much. This is really helpful. I hope that the voters, I know the voters will feel the same way, and we know you, of course, because you've been serving us for so long, but thanks for coming in to talk with us, and good luck in your uncontested race.
Thank you so much.